Have you ever had a moment when the life you thought you built with your own two hands simply vanished? Like one day you wake up, still in the same bed, under the same roof, but you can't quite remember how you got there? That was me. I remember standing by the window at the Wells estate, a silk robe slipping off my shoulders, coffee cooling in my hand. From the outside, it was a picture of perfection, sunlight pouring over polished floors, glass and gold glittering in all directions. Anyone passing by would have thought I was living the dream. A sprawling California mansion, a husband from the magazine covers, a life that sparkled. But inside, I was crumbling slowly, silently, and I felt every fracture like a heartbeat. Graham and I started the way fairy tales usually do. College sweethearts, broke but blissful, sharing noodles in a tiny apartment above a ramen shop, whispering dreams into the dark, building business plans at a kitchen table we barely fit around. I worked 2 jobs, cashed out my savings so he could pitch his startup to tech accelerators. I marked up his pitch decks, cheered at every tiny win. We dreamed out loud, bold, bright, and full of belief. But ambition doesn't just build, it stretches. And sometimes, it pulls 2 people apart so slowly, so quietly, you don't notice until you're yelling across a canyon. The signs were there. Graham started coming home later. There were hushed calls behind closed doors. A new cologne I didn't buy. His attention drifted, eyes always somewhere else. I told myself it was work, his company had just gone public. Meetings, investors, pressure. But the space between us grew, swallowing secrets like a black hole. Then came the gala, a charity event for children's literacy I'd poured my soul into. I wore the same emerald dress from our first date, maybe hoping to turn back time. But Graham's eyes weren't on me. They were on her Savannah Rhodes, a model half my age, ambition sharp enough to draw blood. His hand rested on her back. His smile softened for her. I didn't cause a scene, I never did, but something inside me shattered that night. 3 weeks later, on a rainy Wednesday, he came home early, pacing, fidgeting, voice tight. "I think we've grown apart," he said, not meeting my eyes. "We've become different people." I asked if there was someone else. He hesitated, and that was answer enough. He left 2 days later. Divorce papers arrived by courier, not from him. The house? I gotta keep it or half of it, mortgage still looming. On paper, the settlement looked generous. In reality, it felt like dust. And of course, the tabloids couldn't get enough. Silicon Valley prince leaves wife for model muse. Me? I became the former teacher as if my identity expired along with the marriage. Then, 2 weeks after the papers were final, my body gave out. I collapsed. Stress, I thought. Turned out it was more. I woke up in a hospital room, a doctor named Ruiz holding an ultrasound. "You're pregnant," he said gently, then paused. "There's more than one heartbeat. Quintuplets. 5. You ever hear news so absurd it feels like the universe is playing a joke? Yeah, that happened. I didn't tell Graham. Not that night. Not when the tabloids found out. I could already see the headlines, the PR spin, the exploitation. I wouldn't let my babies become anyone's leverage. I shut old accounts, canceled credit cards, took back my maiden name, and I started writing anonymously, a blog about rebuilding after betrayal, about clawing your way back when the world forgets your name. Women started finding me, abandoned, widowed, lost. They called me a lifeline. I called them sisters. Pregnancy with 5 wasn't a miracle, it was war. Hospital stays, medical journals, NICU podcasts. I taught myself survival. No baby showers, no family to lean on. Just strangers on the internet who became my tribe, nurses, doulas, lawyers, designers. I documented everything. Filmed in maternity leggings, built a resource hub. What started as survival turned into a mission, a movement. When labor hit early, chaos followed. Wires, machines, screams. But all 5 were born alive, tiny, fighting. I named them that same night. Jason, Malia, Tomas, Ella, Lena. 5 miracles. My blog went viral. Not because I wrote about Graham, not directly, but the grief was woven into every line. From that, Resilient Roots was born, a nonprofit for women rebuilding after loss, legal aid, workshops, childcare, mental health. It was messy, exhausting, beautiful. We moved out of the mansion, into a little house that pulsed with laughter, chaos, and color. Jason, the little general. Malia, all curls and compassion. Tomas, the quiet builder. Ella and Lena, inseparable artists. 5 years flew by. Then one day, an invitation came to speak at a children's health gala, a big one. There, at the top of the guest list, Graham and Savannah. My heart knocked against my ribs, but I knew it was time. I walked in not to impress but to stand tall, not Mrs. Anyone. Dr. Eliza Harper, advocate, mother of 5. The ballroom shimmered. Graham looked older. We didn't speak, not yet. But the twist? My children were there, singing in their school choir, their voices cut through the past bright, pure whole. In that moment, I realized this wasn't a story about the man who left, or the woman who replaced me. It was about the 5 lives I brought into this world and the woman I became rebuilding it. After the show, Graham found me, brought coffee, remembered how I liked it. We talked. He asked real questions. I told him the truth. 5 kids, not 4. His eyes filled. He wanted in, said he'd do the work. Therapy, classes, whatever it took. I made it clear, don't hurt them. Now, we're redefining family, slowly, for the kids. He shows up for soccer games, birthdays, concerts. My kids know the truth, no secrets. As for me, I keep building resilient roots, helping women rise, teaching my kids that strength isn't about never breaking, it's about how you rise after. So tell me, do you believe in second chances? Can forgiveness rebuild what's been broken? Let me know in the comments. And wherever you are, whatever you've survived, you're not alone.